Hello and welcome back to Seagulls Social, the Leeds versus Brighton match preview, ladies and gentlemen.
The Josh Akers derby is back, ladies and
the
gentlemen.
Akers derby. Thank God Ryan messaged about it because I think we were just going to pie it off, but we got time, so we might as well do it and give it to you because Leeds are such a big club; they deserve to have their very own match preview.
That's true,
don't they, guys? I'm joined by Maz, who I think has a cold, and I'm joined by Ryan, who is stirring up the stir fry as we speak. But Maz, how are you doing?
I'm alright, mate. I'm alright. Yeah, I'm just getting over a cold, but yeah, we're getting to the end of it. So all Gucci, mate. All Gucci.
Good man. And Ryan?
Man, I'm good. I'm vibing. Very, very good at the moment. All's well. There'll be a few things that people are going to be seeing soon, that's for sure. But yeah, mate. Okay. How are you feeling? Are you good?
I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm excited for Saturday. If we can get there, I managed to get myself a ticket, but apparently there's going to be like loads of snow this weekend. Well, even today, tomorrow up north. So if we actually can get to Elland Road, that would be great. But I am excited because that'll be my first time ever going to that stadium, and I've heard great things about the atmosphere. So it should be good fun, and I'm confident that we can do the business against them because Javi Gracia's come in, and they're the new manager. I think they've kind of had like an XG curse similar to us. From every time Josh Akers, I know he's mentioned him twice already.
Oh, how the turntables!
Yeah, every time they have a match, I think he brings up the XG, and they have actually been getting high XG, but obviously not scoring similar to us a couple seasons ago. So hopefully that curse will continue, or we might even reduce them to 0 XG because our defence is pretty solid with Jason Steele between the sticks. But Maz, how are you feeling ahead of Leeds?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm feeling quite confident. I know it's always the curse, isn't it? But yeah, Javi Gracia hasn't had the desired effect, the bounce back that you usually get with a new manager. And also as well, I think the only win since Accrington Stanley in the Cup, it was Southampton 1-0, which is, I mean, Southampton aren't very good at the moment either. So it's not really saying much. So yeah, I'll be honest.
They lost to Grimsby.
Yeah, exactly. Who we've got.
Imagine losing to Grimsby could never be us.
Yeah,
we'll never be us.
That's horrible.
And then we end up losing to Grimsby. Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, I don't want to get too confident because, as we all know, like Leeds, usually come up quite well against us. As in,
mate, we're pretty good against Leeds. I think they've got 2 wins in 18 or something crazy.
Oh, so they're
a bit of a bogey against us.
It's the complete opposite.
We'll be all right.
Yeah, no, we should be fine then. We should be 5-0 winners. But no, I mean, look, the form could go out the table, could go out the window. We don't know, but yeah, as it stands right now, I'm very confident considering how well we're playing, and the buzz around the club, and just it's a good feeling right now, and hopefully we can continue it at Elland Road.
Yeah. And in a reverse fixture, I think we won 1-0, but I would say it's a dominant performance. Ryan, are you confident that we'll do the same, or maybe even score more goals this time?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think Leeds are there for the taking, mate. They really are. I mean, they've been pretty rubbish, haven't they, since they've come up? And I think that it was so obvious when they came up that they're there for the taking. I think that the Leeds fans were so surrounded by Bielsa that they couldn't see past it. The only thing, as you say, that can go wrong is if we have an off day. But the thing that's good about us at the moment is that we're not very prone to having off days under De Zerbi so far. We've only had a couple, I think, maybe 2 or 3. So I'm not feeling like I don't know, when we went to Fulham, for example, or Fulham came to us even, should I say, it was a bit of an element of doubt because it was so much riding on the game, whereas it's not really that now. I don't really think any Brighton fans, at the beginning it was a bit of a thing on Twitter that Brighton and Leeds fans had the Ben White little arguments and stuff, but I think all that's sort of settled, and like no one really has that hatred towards Leeds, and they don't really have that hatred towards us. So it'll just be another 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday, mate, and we'll just hope for the best, to be honest. I mean, another routine performance for Roberto De Zerbi's men, hopefully.
Well, that's the interesting part. You mentioned Roberto De Zerbi. Under Potter, we were pretty successful against Leeds, and even for Chelsea, Potter was successful against Leeds when they beat them over the weekend. It'd just be whether De Zerbi knows how to unlock Leeds, similar to how Graham Potter seemed to always unlock Leeds. I remember that goal we scored at Elland Road was during lockdown. I think Ben White was playing CDM, and it was just like that Barcelona goal, just passing, then it ended up being like a really, really good tap-in. One of our best goals that season, actually.
And who scored it?
Such a joy to watch.
Neil
Maupay, a player now we don't have, who is obviously one of our he was our biggest shithouse. Do we have those personalities, Maz, that will deal with the hostile atmosphere at Elland Road, because no matter what team plays at Elland Road, they treat it like a cup final, and the limbs behind the goal whenever they score, they are good fans, aren't they?
No, I think generally speaking, I think the mentality in the squad is really good at the moment. I think shows just for me, even little thing like losing to Fulham and then bouncing back the way we did, I think shows a lot of character. Easily we could have, let that result affect us and, go and lose that game the other day, but we came out, absolutely comprehensive winners. And then going into the Leeds game as well, even like the young lads, I feel like an Evan Ferguson, like he's an 18-year-old kid, but he doesn't show that he's scared or he lacks confidence. He seems very, very, full of confidence. And I think that is, as we touched on, it is a lot to do with De Zerbi, and he's instilled that kind of fearlessness in the team, I feel. And I don't feel like any opposition, whether it be a Man City, a Man United, a Liverpool, whoever it might be, I feel like we don't really fear many teams at the moment. So don't get me wrong, the atmosphere is going to be electric, and it always is at Elland Road. And fair play to them, they have got very, very good support. But yeah, it just won't be. It won't be. I don't think our players will let it affect them as much as maybe previously would have.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking though when we played them last year at Elland Road. It was one of I think our last away game of the season. And yeah, Gelhardt sent Lewis Dunk to the shops, but I think Gelhardt's on loan at Middlesbrough now. So yeah,
I remember that day. It was very annoying.
You went, didn't you?
We were meant to be there. We were meant to be there in Cucurella wigs, weren't we? It was all meant to be a bit of fun, a bit of a party at the end of the season because we were staying up. And I think if we won that, we're staying up. I say that we were pretty comfortable, and I think it would have sent Leeds down if we won, or all but down.
Really.
And that's why it was so insane when they scored. Their atmosphere was unbelievable. To be fair, probably the loudest fans I've seen personally. Absolutely ears are ringing when you come out of that ground. But I won't be there this year. I decided against because it's just too far for a claustrophobic day out, to be honest. But maybe next year we'll go back. But if they stay up, to be fair, sorry. But I think we should be fine. As Maz said, rightfully, this team is so well drilled now. We're so much better than we were even last May. I'd like to think that West Ham, to be honest, have been better than Leeds this season. They won 4-0 against Forest, literally the week before we played them. So you'd look at them and you'd think this won't be as easy. Whereas Leeds, you'd think if we get it right and we're not sort of startled by the atmosphere, we should be fine.
So Maz, you had mentioned about Evan Ferguson, and I've got a feeling he could make his name again, because I think I wouldn't say he's had a goal drought, but he hasn't been involved in goals, well, at least putting them in himself. But his link-up play has been brilliant. Yeah, I know. But as a striker, you're kind of there to score, but he does a lot more than that. And it just seems like it feels like he's been playing in the league for ages. He just seems so comfortable, which is nuts for an 18-year-old. I was a fetus when I was an 18-year-old. I barely hit puberty. And this kid's balling out in the Premier League. I just don't really get it.
I'm still trying to grow now.
Yeah. I think he's probably taller than... Actually, I'm not going to go there. Bit harsh. But Ryan, I know you're eating, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it, because we were talking about De Zerbi before and how he makes the players feel. I saw a clip from Vibe with Five of Rio Ferdinand where Welbeck and Lallana both told Ferdinand in recent times about how De Zerbi is one of the best managers they've worked with, which is an incredible statement to make, because they've both worked with, Lallana with Klopp and Welbeck, especially with Arsene Wenger and also Sir Alex Ferguson. So huge statement for both of them to make. And they're saying that he makes every single player feel like $1 million, which is, I wouldn't even know how to begin to do that. But yeah, what did you make of that, Ryan? It must have been very pleasing to hear.
Yeah, definitely. I think it goes to show what all fans felt straight away was that connection. Liverpool away, everyone just felt it. I don't know what it was. The celebration running onto the pitch, it was different to what we've been used to for so long. And I think he's much more Brighton, isn't he? I mean, Brighton are known for being a bit more out there, a bit different. We're a bit of a different area, aren't we? City, we're not like everybody else. So I think that De Zerbi to come in and almost bring that out of us has almost made everybody a bit more upbeat. Even around the club, I expect it's that same sort of feel. We for so long we're very sort of stale and corporate, especially under Potter. Chris Hughton was the same. I'm not saying we were stale as much then, but we were more so like, very eagle-eyed, and that was it. We could say what we had to say rather than what we wanted to. I think now it's a bit more, not lenient, but probably more open, a bit more honest, and I think that's probably the one thing that just didn't happen, that connection. I don't have any sort of doubts that he's one of the best managers, because even Gus Poyet said today, wasn't it, or yesterday, that he's a special manager, and he doesn't want to talk down on Brighton, but he thinks that we'll be lucky to keep even hold of him. But we'll see.
It's weird. It's weird you mentioned Poyet, actually, Ryan, because I was literally about to say, like 30 seconds before you mentioned him, he gives me Poyet vibes. Obviously, on a very different level, we're in very different times in our history, and it's all very different to when Poyet was in charge. But when he was, like, he had that bit of shithousery about him. He had that bit of swag about him. He wasn't scared to say what he felt, and he was very, like, open with his thoughts and feelings. And I feel like De Zerbi's very much the same. So he gives me very much like Poyet vibes, just better. Obviously in a different time now, but yeah.
I can't wait to see De Zerbi on the touchline at Elland Road as well, because obviously he was up in the gods at the Amex in our previous match with his feet up on the phone ordering his chicken boona, which was absolutely class. But now he's going to be, I just hope he revels in the atmosphere at Elland Road, because like I said earlier, whoever goes there, they always make it a great atmosphere. But I suppose we should probably move on to Leeds. I think we spoke about Brian a bit too much. But Javi Gracia, I don't really know what too much to expect from him. I know when he had his first spell at Watford, that he done well, and then they got them to FA Cup final only to get spanked by City. But I think anyone would have played City and probably lost 6-1 or whatever they did lose. But yeah, I don't really know what too much to expect from his team. They do attack quite well, like I said earlier, with the XG and that sort of thing. But moving on from Gracia, are there any players, Ryan, from the Leeds team that you're like going to pick out and worry about?
Rafinha, I'm joking. What's his name? The American lads they've got are actually half decent.
That's a great start. What's his name? That's really good.
You know who I meant.
Which American? There's three of them.
There's
three or four.
Aronson
McKennie.
I do rate him. McKennie and the other guy. Yeah. Who's the other guy?
Tyler Adams.
Tyler Adams, that's the one. Well done, Ben. To be fair, when they signed all the Americans, I was just thinking there's no way this goes down well at Leeds. But to be fair, they've actually been pretty good. I'll give them credit where it's due. But obviously, Nonto's probably the more casual take. But he did do well against Man United, and that's probably the last time I watched Leeds play. If I'm honest,
didn't play against Chelsea though, or he didn't. No. At least he didn't start. He might have come on, which is quite interesting, seeing as he's like one of the most impactful players at the moment.
But they sort of helped Chelsea out in this game, and that was this is a Chelsea team that's been so low on confidence and couldn't get a win to find anywhere, and all of a sudden they beat Leeds and they actually beat Dortmund as well. To be fair, and that to me says if they lose to Chelsea in that run, and you say that their only wins against Southampton, I don't know. I just think that we shouldn't really be too fearful of a team that are staring down the barrel of relegation and probably would deserve to get relegated this year.
Everton, who are 18th, but they're level on points with them.
I get banana skins, but
tough time to be a Leeds fan.
Yeah, but I get banana skins and that take. But if you want to be competing for Champions League, for example, Moises Caicedo and Roberto De Zerbi, if you want to be taken that seriously, these sort of games you have to go in there and you have to come out of the result, and I mean a win, not a draw, because that's the level we're aiming for. So we have to expect that sort of level, and I don't doubt that will happen. It's just the fans have to raise their expectations equally as much as the players and the staff.
Yeah, if the coaches and players believe it, then we should too.
Absolutely.
Maz, any Leeds players from your side?
Yeah, for me, Sinisterra, I think he's a doubt. He's got some kind of potential injury, which is quite good for us. But yeah, Sinisterra, I think he's on his day. He's class. I think last season there was that game where he scored 2 goals. I can't remember who it was against now. But yeah, he's a dangerous player on his day. I feel like going forward, he's probably a big threat when he plays. Of course, I know he's had his injuries this season. But
Who did they sign it from? Was it PSV or
no?
Was it Feyenoord?
Yeah, I think it was a Dutch team. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So yeah, on his day he's very, very good, but he hasn't really played that much. And then just in general, I feel like just going sort of like with Leeds, I think we are the 5th best away team in the league. Only Newcastle, Man United, Man City, and Arsenal have got a better away record than we do, which is pretty good. So yeah, just generally speaking, I'm confident going into this one. But again, these things happen, don't they? We always say we're confident and then it fucking bites in the arse.
For some reason, I'm getting pre-Palace vibes where we were really like, this is our time to show that we're a level above now. But then we kind of bottled it. And I know Leeds, there's no rivalry there. Go on.
Sorry, go on. No, I was going to say Middlesbrough
No.
is the one I look back on. Middlesbrough is the one I look back on instead. I go there and I think we made up. This is a Middlesbrough team that was so impressive, and we were told to worry about them. And to be honest with you, we were half worried about them because notoriously we're not great. Smashed them 5-1. And, Palace it's a rival game. We should have won that game 4-0 another day. Another day, Sanchez doesn't drop that and Tompkins doesn't score. That game, if you replayed that exactly as it panned out over and over again, there's no way we lose that game 4 times out of 5. I just couldn't see it happening. So, I still think we'll be all right. We'll be fine. It's different Brighton these days, ladies and gents.
Well, I hope so. I suppose it's a good time to do your score predictions, Ryan. Have you got anything in mind?
3-0. Yeah, 3-0.
Jesus.
Definitely. Yeah,
Jesus.
Mate, we've got a good team. We've got Webster, Dunk, solid. Lamptey was all right, to be fair. Game off until he came off, should I say. Veltman, been good.
Solly March, the second most important player in the league.
Solly March. Yeah, good midfield. McAllister, Casado. When you go for our team, it just makes you feel good. Matoma, obviously, quality player, as we all know. I'm feeling good. Would probably be Ferguson as well up front, wouldn't it? Pascal Gross. So. Yeah, we'll be right. We'll be right. Best team. De Zerbi knows our best team. We'll be right. We're good. 3-0.
And Maz?
I'm going to go a bit more conservative. So I'm going to go win. I'm going to go either 2-1 or 1-0 Brighton. But I'll go 2-1.
Interesting.
Although I can't. No, actually, do you know what? I can't.
Can you see us conceding?
No, I can't see these scoring. I'm going to go 1-0. 1-0 Brighton. 1-0 Brighton.
Jason Steele, my lord.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's another thing. We'll probably have Jason Steele between the sticks again.
Yeah.
That's going to be a big one for him, actually. But with those Leeds fans behind him, I can imagine the whole game giving him a lot of stick. Hopefully he can deal with it, because we all know that he's had some demons in the past from the Sunderland Till I Die stuff and that sort of thing. Had a bit of reputation, but hopefully De Zerbi's made him a strong enough mentally strong enough to be able to deal with this. And I'm sure Jason Steele, being an Englishman, knows what it's going to be like and what to expect. For me, I think it might be tough. It probably will be tough because it's the Premier League. I do rate their midfield with Tyrone and Weston McKennie. It's a solid. Sorry, yeah, I'm on the fence. That's a solid midfield. That should be quite a good little battle between those two and our midfield as well. But saying that, I will go with a 2-0 Brighton. I don't think Leeds will score either. So none of us are saying that Leeds are going to score.
Another
clean sheet for Jason Steele, my lord.
And I'm not even talking down on Leeds like I used to be fair.
I'll be surprised if they score.
Yeah, I'm not even like, it's not
Lord
even an
Bamford
anti-Leeds thing. Like I'm not really haven't got a problem with Leeds at all. I just think we should be looking at these games. We have to win them now. And I think that, if you want to compete at the best level, we want to be chasing Champions League, Europa League. We need to win games that we probably historically would be thinking, but we can't be doing that anymore. You know what I'm trying to say? So we need to be on the same mentality, mate.
Teams like Leeds, we've got to beat them.
Yeah,
bloody do. But if we do, and somehow Newcastle and Fulham both lose this weekend, we leapfrog them both into 6th place.
Yeah, well, if we win our games in hand, we go into the Champions League spots.
Oh yeah, our games in hand are nuts. We've got 3 games in hand on Fulham, who are above us. They're 7th, and then we've got 2. Oh no, we've got 1 game in hand against Newcastle and 2 against Liverpool, who are in 5th.
But Liverpool, they're looking to hit their stride now, though. Liverpool, which is a bit.
Yeah, I know that's true.
Humbled actually.
But Newcastle seems to be.
That'd be quite handy.
I'm not sure actually. I'll let me quickly check. Liverpool. I'll have a look.
Bournemouth.
Come on.
So that's not looking great for us to be. I mean, we're going for a miracle.
That's actually Ryan. 12:30 kickoff.
Yeah, Bournemouth away.
Could be a curse. You never know.
A Darren Fletcher dagger. Yeah, to be fair, you never know.
You do never know.
Let's hope for a Bournemouth win there, because that would be unbelievable. And yeah, if we beat Leeds, we are looking pretty good. Tottenham have got Forest, which is no by any stretch of imagination an easy game. I think if we win this game, we should be good. And I genuinely watched Spurs last night. I thought, we're better than this lot. We are awful. We are better than this lot. And I would be disappointed if we can't take advantage of them, because I think we should. And that's the reason why I'm being so harsh in this episode, because I think we need to be thinking, look, we need to be there because we deserve to be. And it would actually be a bit of a travesty if we didn't go on and do what we should do this year, because it's not like we ain't deserved it, that's for sure. So I think it's worth it.
All right, nice one. Well, fingers crossed we do, because it's going to be a big period here if we get some results in our games in hand, and we will see us flying up the table again, and it will be a great time to be a Brighton fan with a quarter-final on the way in the FA Cup, hopefully then to the semis at
Big
Wembley.
week next week.
It's a great time to be a Brighton fan, not so much a Leeds fan, but they'll never tell you that. All right, on that note, yeah, please subscribe, of course. This isn't going to go on Apple or Spotify, but if you do listen to podcasts normally there, give us a rating and all that jazz. Comment below.
Your score predictions.
Yeah. That's a classic
score
one for the
predictions,
match,
and also if
score
you think any
predictions.
players you want to see in the team, like if there's any changes
Yeah.
you'd have to into the squad. Not that there could be any, but it'd be interesting.
Hopefully Moda soon, because we're seeing a few tweets from the Brighton admin about him coming back. But he was on the bike, wasn't he, the other day? So positive stuff, because that was Norwich last year, one of the penultimate games of the season. Was it penultimate?
It was 0-0. It was so frustrating. I think that was one of the games where just before the booze came out. Because we hadn't won a game in something like 20 games or something crazy.
Was it March time? Did we play them? I can't even know.
I think it was even before that, mate, to be fair. I think, because I remember I went to the corporate for that day.
All right.
I
remember it being sunny. I remember it being a sunny day. Yeah.
You could be right. I don't even know. But I think
anyway, best of luck. Hopefully you do come back and absolutely smash it, Moda, because that'd be great. And Deserby turns you into a well-beer. All right. On that note, we will see you soon.
In a bit.
Peace.
In a bit.